I'm struggling to create more time to do more physical activity. With the time I already have, I've been putting in 10 times more effort, yet I want to get more physical time. It's also not helping having negative 35-degree Fahrenheit weather almost twice a week. The joys of Minnesota. Any tips to create more time for physical activity? From Bacca.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the topic, Bacca. And I'm with you, man. It can be pretty hard to get that time for some physical activity, and especially, man, I can't imagine negative 35 degrees. That is cold.
Ridiculous.
That is cold. I thought it was cold here in Michigan. I was wrong because it's way colder where you are. So, um, but yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from, and I'm gonna turn it over to Kyle. Hopefully, I've given him enough time to think about this a little bit, and I can't wait to hear what he has to say. So, Kyle, whenever you're ready,
Yeah.
take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. I negative 35. I mean, that sounds cold enough where you could just go stand outside, and the fact that your body has to keep you warm is probably enough physical activity for months. But that's not a very safe option, I think. No, I don't know. I think I I usually get my physical activity in with obligations. Um, I have a lot of work to do on my house. I've got or I had a job where I had to do a lot of work, um, physical work. So that was kind of where I did. Now that I'm sitting here at a desk more often, and it's a little bit harder. Um, but one thing that not everybody probably would appreciate this. Something I've always done is when I'm going somewhere, I basically run. Like if I'm gonna even just like to go across the room to grab something, I don't walk. I usually run, and or like to go up the stairs, it's always running to get a drink. Half the time, someone looks, they like, "What's going on? What's wrong?" It's like, "Oh, nothing." I just going where I'm going.
That's awesome. You're like Forrest Gump. Wherever you go, I was running.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I'm always, but I don't know. Part of just having that discipline to get up and do something is not something that I've ever had to worry about, right? Because I've always just had either a job where I had to be physical, or I move around a lot. I don't usually sit still. Even sitting here, it's very hard for me to sit still. I'm always moving my legs around, shaking around, doing this. Like I don't sit still. So I fortunately have not had to worry a whole lot about that. Now I could be a lot more fit um, than I am, but I'm not. I don't. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of experience with that, other than just a specific problem. But when we want to talk about just how to get up and do anything that maybe isn't the easiest thing in the world to get up and do, maybe just having that ability to drive yourself to go do something that's not that exciting. We could talk about that a little bit. One thing is just to, take a good look at the results. What are you looking for? And have that in front of you. What do you want to achieve? That way, you can actually have a goal that you're trying to run for, or make your activity fun. Um, but I mean, finding the time to do something is only a problem when you don't want to do the thing that you're trying to find time to do. The Everybody finds time to do certain things that maybe aren't productive. Watch a movie, play a video game, watch YouTube videos. You know, not necessarily productive. They're not bad things, but they're things that you kind of want to do and you found time to do them. It's the things that are difficult or that you don't want to do that you can never seem to find time to do. And I mean, that's the way I am. I've got a lot of stuff, like a list a mile long of stuff that I'm supposed to do. It's hard to get to it. So one thing that I've kind of, to get to some of those things, it's like I have to look and see, okay, how's it going to feel when I have this job done? And I can kind of kind of think about that, and it's going to feel like this. And so I can kind of like, what I want is the feeling, right? Now, here's something I want to do. Or how is this going to make somebody's life easier? What I want is to improve something for them. Well, that's going to, that idea might drive me forward. If you can find little things like that. Another thing is, with physical activity, it's one of those things where really we should, every day. It's not a one-time task, right? It's an ongoing thing throughout life, and it's ultimately for ourselves, right? So we can live longer, happier, better lives. And it's that looking forward to what that life is like versus what life is like when you're not able to enjoy certain things because you can't do it, and yeah, that's that, making time is just a matter of finding enjoyment out of it in a lot of cases. And if it's getting tedious, you've just been doing it over and over and over again, look at past results. Sometimes that can help. Write a list down of, I did this yesterday and the day before, and the day before, and the day before, and just write that down. And you have a big list of accomplishments. That can help too. It might make it not seem so bad anymore because you can see some of the results. It's easy to forget good results. So when you have them, write them down. Keep track of them. So that's about all I got. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, you're gonna turn it over to me already?
I am. That's it.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I was ready for this.
Well, good luck. Well, what I will say is, here's the thing. Out of the two of us, you've done infinitely more, and I can say infinitely in reality because I've done basically zero of trying to partake in some sort of physical activity regimen. Like I have never tried to schedule that or make that happen. It's just been the product of my habits. So
Sure.
Go ahead.
No, I totally understand that. Bacca, Princess had a great question. What's your goal for exercising? And I see that you have in the chat, you've answered, I want to get my mile run under 9 minutes and 30 seconds, yet also build strength and hold a weight. So, some things you can do. Now, it really does. Like Princess's question was very, very, very proper. It was very good to ask because that should really be your first question when you're entering into this. What do I really want to gain out of this? Because there are a lot of different workout programs. Some that are built for building strength, some for losing weight, some for gaining weight, some for increasing endurance. And what you'll find is, the workout regimen for a long distance runner is much different than the person who wants to enter like a Mr. Universe competition and, like look really ripped and cut and all that kind of stuff, right? And that person's workout regimen is going to be different than like what you hear the strongman competitions and stuff like that, because and you can really tell based on how their bodies look, how their bodies are built, that their regimens, their workout, their training, and their diet, it's all completely different. So it really, really does depend a lot on what you want to get out of it. So as far as getting your mile run to be under 9 minutes and 30 seconds, what you're going to have to do to accomplish that goal, I'm guessing, is you'll have to spend a fair amount of time practicing running. And I would run more than 1 mile at a time. So obviously, if you want to get your mile run, you're going to have to practice your mile. You're going to have to time yourself, see how you're doing, see how you're progressing and all that kind of stuff. And like Kyle said so well, keep track somehow. Write it down. If it's weight that's a concern, you can weigh yourself and then track your progress as you go. So those are some really good things to do. Most of the workout programs that I've been involved in, they have you check results every 2 weeks. So you train for 2 weeks and then you check your results. You check your weight. A lot of them have you take a picture of yourself, so you can have a visual of your progress. In your case with the mile, you could just time yourself and figure out, okay, how fast did I go? And then now you've got a starting point, and you can be like, all right, and now I'll train for a couple weeks, and then I'll do my best, and I'll see how much faster I got. If you're training for a 1 mile run, I remember this principle from swimming. When I swam the 500, which was the longest distance we had in high school when I swam, and so for training, they would have us swim 1000s or 2000s, so long distance to really get you used to that extended period, right? And so then when you come back and you do a 500, you can really push yourself a lot more because it's going to be over sooner, right? Now, another thing you can do if you want to get that mile faster is have somebody running with you. Because I don't know what it is about having a person next to you pushing you. It always worked in swimming. When you were racing someone, you went faster. There was just some psychological thing that happens because this person's trying to beat you, or this person's trying to keep up with you. And so now you're going to try harder. And that was always the case. But if you're looking to build strength and manage weight, one of the best places you can go is to igorvoitenko.com. I know that's kind of a weird name, but this guy, Igor Voitenko, I stumbled upon his workouts a couple years ago, and he is about the best you can get for free. And in fact, I have paid lots of money for workout programs. And these are workout programs that you do at home with no equipment. And I spent money. And it was weird. It's almost like the more I spent on a program, the more likely it was that I would get injured. That was really weird. But this guy, Igor Voitenko, he, all of his workouts are on YouTube. And if you go to his website, he has schedules. He has a bunch of different workout programs that generally are about a month, long. And he just has a bunch of YouTube videos that you click on whatever day, and then you work out along with him in his video. And it's generally somewhere between 5 and 20 minutes that you're going to spend working out. So if you're looking to have more time for physical activity, I guess the question is, do you want to actually spend that time, or do you want to get results with the time you have? And in my case, that was what I wanted. I didn't have a whole lot of time to exercise. So I had to find programs that were like, I want to be done in a half an hour, because that's about all the time I have today. And so I would work out along with this program. I would find ones that were like 15 minutes long, 20 minutes long, maybe a half an hour but that was about my limit, because I didn't have time to be spending all day, focused on this, but I still wanted results. And so from what I've found, that guy has it nailed as far as getting the most bang for the time that you have and getting good results. So I would definitely check that out. Bacca says, I have a lot of goals that I need to get for college PT. All right. There's going to be a requirement for physical training. I think if I remember correctly, are you going into law enforcement? Is that what you're planning on going into in college? Because I know if that's the case, then yeah, there's definitely a physical requirement, and they're gonna test you on that. So that's definitely gonna be an important thing to do. So, oh, Princess, you're awesome. Thank you for putting the link there in the chat. So you can click that and go to his website, and he'll have all kinds of stuff. He'd keep you busy for a handful of months, if you just rotate through his programs. Yeah, all right, cool. So I think Princess might have some stuff to say about this topic. So um unfortunately, I don't have a screen where we can show Princess's lovely face. So you're just gonna have to look at me and Kyle while Princess talks. But Princess, if you're ready, at any time, um, you can feel free to go at it.
Yep, just waiting for you to finish.
Oh, I'm not done with my sentence. No, I'm done.
Oh, oh man, that's sorry. Anyway, um, so it really depending on what you're looking for is how you'll want to go about it. Again, if it's a matter of finding time because you want to just spend time doing physical exercise, that's going to be prioritizing. That's time management. That's going through your day and being like, okay, I'm going to do a little less fun time here, or I'm going to really focus on making sure that my dinner stays within like a certain amount of time and I'm not just lollygagging on that, you know, and finding time that way. Otherwise, a lot of the training that I've seen isn't necessarily just about time. Now, my mom has done a lot of triathlons. She's run even the Ironman, which you might not really know, but that's basically one of the biggest runs, at least where I live, is the Ironman, which
That's
is a
huge.
triathlon of swimming, biking, running. And it literally is like half a day of exercising straight or more, which, takes a lot of training.
Mm,
But there's a lot of training you can do that isn't that, you know. If you're doing long distance running, um, well, then you're going to want a particular regimen for that, right? You're going to want to know what you're training, what you're eating, and how you're resting because you need rest. So don't just go gung ho on trying to do all this exercising all the time because if you don't give your body ample time to rest, then it's not going to be able to repair your muscle to make you stronger, right? So that's something important that I would keep in mind. There's also plenty of websites out there that'll talk at length about blogs they've done or things they've seen on different techniques you can do. This one seemed like a pretty good website you could check out if you're looking specifically for police related, getting into that, what they recommend for, becoming a successful police officer physical test taker. There's a website for that too.
mm.
So
Oh,
there's
look at that.
resources out there. As for me, I'm someone who doesn't enjoy working out. It's not super fun. I've been dragged to the gym numerous times where we spend an hour or two because mom wants to work out, and I have to go on one of the lovely machines for at least a certain amount of time in order to pass the "you've done something" test. And that's how I saw exercising. It was, perhaps a little pathetic, but I just don't enjoy getting on a machine and just doing mindless leg work. I don't enjoy doing a whole bunch of arm work. And if I'm not doing it with something that really gets me engaged, I am not engaged and I won't do anything. Because I'm not, I don't want to spend my hour doing that when I could be doing an hour of something else, whether that's fun time or homework or baking, you know. I want to do whatever, but I also know that for me, I need to get exercise in to be healthier, right? I want to be toned, I want to be fit, and so at least for me, I've found it's by Vince, some other workout person, with it is paid, so I mean,
Mm, mm.
again, but if you're looking for something paid that makes results, I have seen results with this one, and it's been impressive because it's 15 minutes of my day, like 2 or 3 days a week. It's not a huge commitment of time, but it's been making results. So again, it really depends on what you're looking for. And for running, I'm sure that you'll need to do running, but it also means that you'll want to work your arms and you'll want to work your legs and you're going to want to work your core as well because it's going to take all of that to do that, right? And it's not just running, but it's doing other things to help build your body up. But I'm sure that these different websites or sources, or you could even look some of your own up, just looking up proper training for insert what you're looking for, that can go a long way to helping you find different recommendations on stuff you can do. And again, what works for people might not work for you totally. So you might have to modify. You might, if you're not in great shape, you might have to start low and build your way up. You know, understand that you're at a point and you're going to another point. There's a journey there, and you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be all out and going and destroy yourself either. You want to make sure that you pace yourself, because the results will come over time. It's not something you'll get overnight. But they will come if you stick to it. And you eat plenty of rest, and you eat plenty of good food, and you don't eat too much. And you eat balance of stuff, right? You need a balance of your carbohydrates, your fats, and your proteins. And there's plenty of dieting things out there that'll give you recommendations. A lot of them for free, if you are looking for that, or if you're looking for weight loss in particular, or even weight growth. I'm sure that they have different things that you can do that'll help you towards creating muscle or gaining, weight to you, or taking it off through different diets. But it's really the marriage between dieting and dieting it's not starving yourself. Starving yourself will not make you lose weight unless you've gone to such a point where you're at such a deficit where you're burning your muscle. You don't want that, I assure you. But if you eat at a right rate, you can get your body into that mode. So anyway, I have gone on for quite a while here, so I'm going to turn it back to Joe.
Oh, Princess, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Kyle, did you have anything more to say about this topic?
No, I think you guys covered it pretty well. You both have more experience than I.
Well,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I think if I was going to consolidate, figure out your goals and find a good program that'll help you get there. Someone with results, right? So that you can see a picture of what you want and it works. Get some recommendations and then go for it. If that's what you're trying to achieve, and then if the problem is you just can't bring yourself to do it because you can't find time in your day, then find a way to make it fun.
Yeah, that's so true. If you're enjoying yourself while you do it, or if you are seeing results, that can definitely motivate you to go, and to keep going. I like what Kat said in the chat. Every day it gets easier, but you got to do it every day. And while exercise is one of those things, I mean, you can do it every day, but if you're working really hard trying to build muscle, you do have to give your muscles, certain muscle groups, a break, before you work on it. So I have an exercise program where I work out 6 days a week, but each of those days I'm working different muscle groups. So I have three different. So I work chest and back one day. I work biceps, triceps another day, and then shoulders and legs on another day. And so I have 3 different sets of muscle groups, and I give myself 2 days in between to rest those muscle groups. Yes, the hardest part is starting and then keeping that habit. Absolutely. We talked a little bit on the last show about habits and how it can take a while. It can take a month to get a habit fully ingrained. But once you get going, it's going to be great. I'll tell you, there was one, I remember the first time I actually joined a gym, and I got a trainer that he was like, okay, well, I'm going to help you learn how to work out. And I'm like, cool, because I don't really know what I'm doing. And so he helped me out a little bit. And what happened was this, I found out later that this guy was pretty new. And I paid for that because he had me working hard. He's like, come on, man, you can do it. And he just pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. And this was my first day. I hadn't done any working out at all. And then I just totally went crazy. And the next day I could hardly move. I'm just like, ugh, are you serious? I don't want to do this again. So it's good to work yourself up into that mode. But I'll tell you, I'm proud of you, Bacca. I think this is a good thing. And, finding information from great sources is awesome. Like Princess was saying, you'll be able to find resources out there. If you just Google stuff, you can find all kinds of great information. One thing you might ask about if you're trying to get your mile down, at the school you're in, there's probably a track coach. You might just ask them. Just let them know, hey, I'm trying to get my mile down to a certain point. Is there anything you can tell me, any tips you can give me about how to train for that? And I bet you that person would love to share, because really, everybody loves being the expert, right? And so you ask them a question about something they know stuff about, they'd be happy to share with you. So I'll tell you, you're on the right track just by having the desire to do it and to move the ball forward in this area. And it's a great area to do it because you're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy, which is weird because we think to ourselves, man, if I work out, I'm going to spend all my energy. But it's weird. You end up getting more the more you do it. It's pretty cool. Bacca, you were thinking about joining the track team just to get running in. Hey, that works. That might be something to think about. Why not? But anyway, Bacca, I'm proud of you. This is a big thing, and you've got some goals, and hopefully some of the stuff that we've said has been helpful for you. Man, thank you so much, and let us know your progress. Keep us updated.